Hello all, David here. Today I wanted to offer some reflections on patience. And the past few days I've really spent a lot of time sitting with the idea of patience, and some of this relates to the global situation around us and the pandemic, and in particular something I've noticed come up in myself and quite a bit around me, both societally, individually with others, is the sense of uncertainty. And uncertainty is something that can really provoke a very strong sense of fear, anxiety, stress, really illuminating the sense that we aren't in control. And, while we can, to a certain degree, have some say in what happens in our inner reality and navigate our lives, this is showing us there is quite a bit out of our hands. And one of the great remedies in a time like this, at least for our internal well-being, is patience. And it's no surprise to me that sometimes it's said patience is the highest virtue. And so today I wanted to take some time to offer a definition of patience, list two types of patience, a quality that masquerades as patience, and then offer maybe a 1-minute guided meditation to hopefully bring this home. But so what is patience? I see patience, or what I have read, is that patience is the ability to be with discomfort without the expectation that it will go away. And one thing I really love about this definition is that last part of without the expectation that it will go away. And it is really an invitation to really be fully here, wherever we're at in our lives right now, and noticing that when agitation, fear, anxiety comes up, there's some inkling of an expectation or a wanting for it to go away. And I think in some sense I'm going to start out with the masquerading state, which sometimes I like to playfully call fake patience. It's kind of like the spiritual version of fake news. And what this is I had a really good example a few hours ago where I had to do some troubleshooting with my printer, which, if you've ever done such a thing, it is a very tedious and really obnoxious task. And you can already see my hidden bias in calling it obnoxious. But I spent like an hour trying to do all these little technical things to make the printer work. And what I noticed was, initially I went into this task and I was really peaceful and spacious and grounded. But as the time drug on and I started hitting these roadblocks, I noticed these little moments where all of a sudden tension came in my system. And what this indicates to me is that I wasn't really being patient, because this is really when we see when we're not being patient, when things don't go as we would like them to, or we hit roadblocks, or we hit obstacles. Maybe in our lives right now, it seems like we're pretty chill and spacious and peaceful. But then how are we going to act with the pandemic situation a week from now, or a month from now, or 3 months from now? If it keeps going on, is there going to be some point at which we just kind of are like, enough already, I just want this to be over? And that's the sign we are practicing fake patience. And in contrast, so what is real patience, where we don't have this expectation that things will change? And the first type is something I like to call gentle perseverance. And gentle perseverance, it's really putting the focus on the present. And it is the acknowledgement that right now, this is difficult. Say when I'm with my printer, it's like acknowledging, oh wow, I'm experiencing some stress right now. Or, with some of the financial stress that can come, or some of the stress for our health with the virus, or concern about our loved ones. Well, we notice that, wow, there is real suffering going on. There is real stress going on. Gentle perseverance is the ability to really feel that, to notice it, to be with it, to acknowledge, okay, this is hard, this is painful, and yet I don't need to make it go away. So we take a breath, feel it, allow it, and a lot of that is just about changing our relationship to the experience and to ourselves. For me, in my practice, it has a lot to do with self-compassion and likewise compassion for others. Just like one day at a time, here we are. Okay. So that's gentle perseverance, which I think is the way that, when we really, most of us reflect on patience, it's kind of what our minds go to, of just this one day at a time. But the second form of real patience, which they say is the maturing and the deepest form of patience, is what we could just call true acceptance, where, when I'm with my wonky printer, it's just, well, this is what we got. We have a printer that is not cooperating, and this is okay. And likewise with the greater situation around us in the world right now, true acceptance of it is to really just embrace the uncertainty head on. And it's an ability to tap into a very deep and profound source of well-being inside ourselves, where we, on a very fundamental level, realize that we don't need things to be other than they are to be well, to be happy, to be at peace. And so, this deep form of patience, to me, is various forms of like a mantra I use is, everything is okay, just as it is. Nothing needs to be other than this in order for me to be happy. Everything is okay, just as it is. Take a breath, really internalize that. And this true acceptance, for those of us who have heard these terms, this doesn't mean a resignation. It doesn't mean we're not taking compassionate action. It just means we start from the vantage point of okayness, of a deep well of everything is okay, just as it is. And so I find these three forms of fake patience, of just kind of grinding our teeth until it's over, the second form of gentle perseverance, and the third form of true acceptance, to be a useful framework just to reflect and notice in my own experience where I'm at any given time. And most important, I think that word gentle. Just be really gentle with myself wherever I'm at, even if I'm in fake patience. Just be like, well, this is what I got today, and I can still be nice to myself, and I can still, to the best of my ability, not cause harm in the world, and bring some amount of goodness to those around me. And so, as I said in the beginning, I wanted to do a very brief guided meditation, and I'm a little biased with the whole meditator Buddhist path, but for me, the gateway and the access point to patience is mindfulness, is presence, is awareness, because that's the place where there's some malleability and fluidity of mind, the ability to take a pause, to drop down, to release, to reorient. And so, if you feel so inclined, you can join me in 1 minute of meditation here. In the starting point, going from a listening mode to being mindful, I often find just taking a couple slow, conscious, deep breaths very helpful. The chest and the torso lifting on the inhale. The whole body releasing on the exhale. Allowing the musculature to soften, the forehead, jaw, abdomen. Just taking a brief moment to feel into the contact points of the body on the outside world. The floor, the air, the skin. Just taking in the sound, the touch, the softness, the muscular release. You can just let sink into the back of the mind. Everything is okay, just as it is. Everything is okay, just as it is. Thank you.